Everybody, happy Thursday. It is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So another hot day here in Southern California, although it's approximately 5 degrees maybe cooler than yesterday. But that having been said, still a good healthy 96 in the shop this afternoon. So I guess I'll take that over 99 or whatever it was yesterday. It might have even hit 100, I'm not sure. So anyway, what happened around here today? Let's talk about that. So I was really hoping to get this short block together today. And once again, I was foiled, this time not by a cam gear, but I thought that my zinc plating guys were going to have all the case hardware done in black zinc today. And got a hold of them this morning. My guy said, yeah, it's done. Come get it. Cool. Ran over there. It's probably not even a mile from my shop. I show up and my usual guy's not there, and the other guy's like looking around, looking. He points to some parts that he thinks are it, and they were actually Volkswagen parts, but not mine. And finally they find them, and they're still in the bag just the way I dropped them off. So I don't know, they forgot about them or whatever. I mean, it happens. They're a busy shop and they're processing huge orders. These kind of like little small jobs they're doing for, Volkswagen shops and other local shops is probably not even really worth their time, but they're cool guys. And so, I can't get too upset about it. That having been said, setback. So I texted him later today and said, could you please have them ready by tomorrow? I don't know if that's going to happen, but anyway, so I did a few things anyway on this motor today, and went ahead and hung the rods. They're all torqued down. They're ready to go. They feel great. Yeah, they're spinning just like they should. Got some nice thick oil in there so they don't spin around too much, but yeah, they feel great. So those are on. I assembled the gears and stuff on there yesterday. You know that if you watch. What else did I do today? The other thing that I did, if you haven't noticed already, is I picked this puppy up. So this is the deep sump that Gene Berg makes for these, which, you know what, I don't even know the capacity of this. I'm guessing it's like an extra 1.5 quarts. But for a motor that only holds a total of about 2.5 quarts, extra 1.5 quarts, that's kind of a lot. That's like, 50, more than 50% more oil capacity right here. Boom. So I got that from them and went ahead and installed the pickup tube. So of course that reaches down into the sump and then picks the oil up down there. So you're much less likely to starve for oil under hard running or whatever. The pickup tube I put on, I brazed it on basically, and I put a little sealant on it, and I put a hose clamp on it. So all three of those things, this thing is not going anywhere. I kind of pressure tested it. It's good. It's a nice pressure tight seal here, although it has a vacuum pulling oil through it, but still pressure vacuum. Either way, if it leaks, you're going to know. So yeah, so this is on here good. Again, brazed and a little sealant and the hose clamp, so not going anywhere. And yeah, so I got that on, and then I prepared the sump itself for installation. So it comes as a kit, and so you got to install these studs at the right depth here, and then they actually get a like a jam nut on them on the inside of the case to make sure they don't try and come out when you're eventually changing the oil or whatever. So like everything from Berg, this kit is super nice and super complete. So the way they set it up is 25 and 36 horse have a smaller drain plate here than a later motor. So what they do is on the top of this thing, it's got, of course, the 25 and 36 size flange, which of course mates to the case here. And then on the bottom, they basically step it up to the later style, which is used on 40 horse and up. And they give you the screen, they give you all the hardware, they give you the actual sump plate here, which again you wouldn't necessarily have if you're working on a 25 or 36 horse, because this is off 40 horse and up. So they give you all that, gasket kits, oil change kit with the little, crush washers, the little acorn nuts. So everything you need is in there. And it ain't cheap, but it's super nice, and you get what you pay for. And sometimes good parts cost a lot, but that's okay. So yeah, I mocked this up, and that's how I determined sort of the depth of this, sticking down in there far enough. And let's see, what else did I do today? I also run a bunch of errands for this car, picking this up. I picked up his heater boxes and fan from ceramic coating, so those are all ceramic coated. Let's see, what else? Went to the hardware store, picked up some more copper crush washers for his brakes, which of course were kind of leaking at the crush washers on the banjo fittings. Ordered a replacement of the rear wheel cylinder, which was leaking. I'll call them later and see about returning the leaky one. So yeah, here we are. Pile of bitchin' parts that are all literally ready to assemble. And at this point, I'm just waiting on my hardware. What I might do if they're not going to have the hardware tomorrow is I may go ahead and assemble the short block and just use... I've got it around here somewhere. Thought I did anyway. Just use like regular, generic hardware, put everything together, but don't put sealant under the bolts. And then when I get my hardware in, remove, well, not these bolts, these on the case and the ones around the perimeter. Yeah, go ahead and assemble it with like new hardware, just, regular good old-fashioned hardware. Like these are the nuts that fit the big case studs here. And then when my hardware comes in, then kind of just like replace them one at a time, and that won't affect the fact that it's like torqued. If you're just removing one, retorque it with the the replacement hardware and work your way around. So I may do that if they're not going to have it for me tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm really hoping to just put it together once with the correct hardware, everything, and be done with it. But again, if it doesn't look like they're going to have it, I'll go ahead and seal up the case halves, bolt it together, torque it down, fully assembled, and then I'll just replace the hardware whenever it comes in. Not preferred, but at the same time, I want to get this thing moving. So hoping to maybe get a call from Clyde Berg maybe tomorrow. Maybe the heads will be done, and then I can get the other cylinder back, paint the cylinders, set the ring gap on the fourth piston, and then yeah, if I have the heads back from him, then the top end of this thing can go together too. So let's see what else I did today. So other than that, you see this big pile of wheels here. So these are the wheels which are correct for a 67 for our favorite 67 Beetle over there. And these wheels I actually got from Jason at Air Cooled Vintage Works. They're off a project he had that he was putting aftermarket wheels on. So I had them all blasted, and then pretty much went and did metal work on all of them. Some of them didn't need much. This one in particular, I'll show you guys what I did on this one. This one, luckily hopefully you can't really tell now. This edge, about 4 inches of this edge was like really somehow ground down, like somebody had curbed it really, really hard. And if you were to like draw an imaginary plane on the face of this lip here, this area about in here was probably a good couple millimeters, probably not quite an eighth of an inch, like a couple millimeters maybe low. So what I did was I pretty much just started like running beads of weld on this lip here, and then grinding it down and shaping it, trying to get this original little. This is actually kind of concave in here where I'm running my finger, so try and grind that back into it and get the shape on the outside here right. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect, but I think that once everything's painted and powder coated and stuff, and a tire on there, obviously, I don't think it's going to be noticeable. So it was pretty time consuming. So at some point I just had to kind of like say, okay, this is enough. But it looks 100 times better than it did before. Because again, this whole surface about from where my fingers are was very, very low compared to the rest of it. So that's all pretty much weld built up on there and then reground to shape. The other one's just some, little minor dents and dings around the lips. The one that I think I'll probably put on as their spare had some pretty big dents and dings along this edge here, and I pounded one of them back out this way best I could. The other ones weren't really deep enough that I could pound them back in from this side, so pretty much I just tried to like take a like a coarse sanding disc on a high speed and just like blend those in best I could. So again, once it's all painted and powder coated, I don't think it's going to show, but same thing on this one. This was very kind of mutilated in here, so did my best to kind of blend that in, and little hammer work, little dolly work and stuff in here. So anyway, they are going to look amazing when they're all painted and powder coated, and they're the correct wheels for this car. So bonus, a little VW stamp there. And there is a date, 1/67. So that's actually his car. I think the production date of that 67 is, it's a very early 67. I think it might even be like September or October of 67. So the wheels are off by a few months, but big deal. So did that on those wheels, got those. I'll take those to powder coating in the morning. And then the only other last thing I did kind of at the end of the day is when the owner brought in the Van Halen bug, he mentioned that he tried the windshield wipers at some point, and this one was just kind of like flopping around randomly. So pulled it off and noticed that the bolt in there was kind of stuck, and it was actually pretty hard to get out. And basically the threads in there were all boogered up. So it just, these were the original wipers that came with the car. We reused them, and turns out one of them was bad when you actually turned the thing on. It, I don't know, it just wasn't holding, and you can kind of see why. So I dug another original one just like this out of our stock, and I painted it gloss black just like I had painted these, because it's a cowlick car. Those would look really dumb if they were silver, which is of course how they came. So yeah, the other one is painted. It's hanging out there to dry right now, so put that on, and then he should be good to go with his wipers. And then tomorrow I may also start pulling off these felt channels on here and see if I can hunt down a replacement for them better than Impy. We'll see what I feel like tomorrow, but probably depends on if I get my oxide parts for this thing, whether or not I work on this or not. So guys, that would be it for today. So thank you everyone for watching. Likes, comments, subscriptions, all that good stuff. And we will see you again tomorrow. Bye.